These are the Soundboard V4 playing cards. The tuck box is done in white and green and looks like a cassette tape, and it does not open like a normal deck of cards. And even right here, you're gonna have a cutout that I'll get to in a second. The one long edge says Soundboards and has a play, stop, rewind, and fast forward button. The top short edge has a place for you to adjust the volume and a place for you to plug in your headphones. The bottom of the tuck box has some riffle shuffle ad copy. The other long edge says Soundboards and open. The back of the tuck box is going to be very similar to the back design. And normally when you have a tuck box, you take it and you'd pop it open here. But as you can see, there's no place to pull it here or here. Instead, you're actually going to turn it sideways and open it like this. Once you've got it open, then you can slide it out just like you would a cassette tape. And this is what I meant by the cutout. That design that you saw back here was actually one of the playing cards. This is your back design and is absolutely stunning. I love the green and white combo. It makes it have a ton of contrast, and I love the choices of the musical instruments. My favorite specifically is going to be the record that you'll see here in the center, and that's because when you take it and you give it a spin on your finger, it makes the record look like it's spinning. And that is super sick. Now we're on to your number cards. They're going to be United States Playing Cards Company standard. Your blacks are blacks, your red are red, and everything is going to have the same layout as what you would normally expect. So those are your spades, you have this for your diamonds, you have your clubs here, and then last but not least, your hearts. Your three aces are going to be standard as well. Then you're on to your court card. They're going to be done with the same USPCC type design, the same things you'd see on a bicycle deck of playing cards, but they've all been recolored to make sure they match the theme of this deck, which I 100% appreciate. Now you're onto your Soundboard duplicate jokers. And last but not least, for the design aspect, your Soundboard V4 playing cards, Ace of Spades. Now let's check and see how well this deck of cards can handle. From a Faro standpoint, it Faro shuffles beautifully every other from bottom to top. Then if we go from top to bottom, you're going to see that it is maybe slightly more difficult, but again, it Faros every other beautifully, so once again, no issues. Then when it comes to the stock, feel, and finish, the finish of the deck is what happens with the coating to make sure that it glides well and it glides beautifully, so all fans and flourishes like that are going to be extremely easy to do and no issues whatsoever. Next is going to be the stock of the deck. The stock is going to be just how thick it is. It's going to be a decent middle of the line stock, so not too thick, not too thin. It's a good middle ground. And then the feel of it is if it feels more snappy or buttery, and let me explain. Snappy decks are more for things like ATM, which looks like this, where you can get a little bit more pop on it, a little bit less malleability, or maybe backdrop that looks like this. So those are moves that are more for snappy decks. More buttery cards are usually better suited for moves like Under Pressure, which looks like that. Still definitely looks great. And then you also have the Card Spring, which looks like this. Both of those moves are more used because they're more malleable and it takes a little bit more pressure on the cards. Now, this deck is definitely better suited for more snappy moves. It has a little bit more pop to it and it has a little bit less malleability. So if you're just getting into things like Magic and Cardistry, it's still fine. It has a good middle ground, but it leans towards snappy. And if you are wanting to pick this deck up for yourself, make sure to check out the link in the description below. We're popping up right here, and another deck review will be popping up right there. Make sure to subscribe if you like deck reviews just like this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is CPM, signing off.